Welcome to MIFF. I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus,
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to MIFF. Welcome to MIFF.
Hello and welcome back to MIFF. I'm Matt Huss and this is...
Dan Rhodes. Woo! Yeah, he's the best of all of us.
and so see all of us. Dan, guess what?
What?
I got a board game for Christmas called... I'm not going to say it, but the idea is that... should I say the title?
Why couldn't you say the title?
Well, I don't know. It's called Shot in the Dark.
Nice.
And it's a game, and what they do is they ask out, they give you like facts, and they're like shot in the dark questions, so you can have a vague guess at them, but I think you'll be scarily quite good. So we should check it out.
Go on.
Okay,
Is it like a general knowledge thing?
It's general knowledge,
there we go.
but like I think you're quite. It's about guesstimation, really.
Okay, so you just got to get
It's not like precise things like who is the Duchess of.
But is it more like what is the weight of a...
the examples it gives is how long did Britney Spears' shortest marriage last? How many litres of vodka does the average Russian person drink every year? That kind of thing.
See,
you can have a guess at it. You know?
And if you got to get within a certain amount...
No, you just have... it's part of the fun is just having a guess.
Okay,
So,
go on. Let's see if I am scarily good at
I
this.
just picked a random one, okay?
Okay.
In the UK, what percentage of a bag of Haribo Tang Fastics is sugar? In the UK, what percentage of a bag of Haribo Tang Fastics is sugar?
Haribo Fantastics, I think they're probably quite sugary. What percentage is sugar?
Yeah.
I'm going high. It's got to be at least 35%.
50%.
Oh, wow.
Shit, man.
Big amount, yeah.
Also got gelatin in it. So, okay, you like this game?
Yeah.
Are you going to get annoyed yourself if you don't win?
Yeah.
Here we go. What percentage of Harvard University, what percentage of the Harvard University 2018-2019 intake smoke cigarettes? How many students of that year, 2018-19, smoke cigarettes?
As in, of the people that did... Okay. Are we talking regular smoker? It doesn't really say, does it?
I don't know. I think it's how many of those people, students-wise, smoked cigarettes.
I don't think it would be high.
The key is cigarettes here. I think.
Yeah, I don't think it would be high.
Percent-wise.
5%.
It's actually 2.5%, and fun fact, which is lower than the proportion that take LSD, which is 3%.
Oh, wow. Okay, so more people took LSD than smoking.
And that overlaps.
I think that's true, actually, among college university students.
I'm not sure, it's maybe E6, but maybe not really, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Especially because...
I wasn't crazy far off.
No, yeah, but you're doing quite well here, you know what I mean? What is the most body piercings that any one person has?
Is like a Guinness World Record?
Yeah.
Part of me thinks I know this, but it seems excessive. Because I think I can visualise them. They've got like...
Can you talk me through it?
They've got like... They're all of their ear is basically like hundreds of like... Yeah. And then their lips are all like hundreds of piercings, and then their nipple, and then like they've got loads of the ones on their body.
You haven't got any piercings, have you?
No.
Would you ever think about any piercings?
No.
Shot in the
Just as an estimate, thinking about where you could put like you could put so many things everywhere.
How many do you reckon you can get in your ding dong?
Honestly, I reckon this person has 2,000 piercings.
The world record champion has 453 piercings, so a lot less.
A lot less, okay.
But including over 150 piercings on his mouth and lips. Now, have a guess at this person's name, because I think it's pretty funny. It's not that funny, but I just think it's a funny name.
Is it something really boring, like Ronald Smith?
Dave Smith. No, it's Rolf Butchholz. And I just think that's a
great... Butchholz, nice.
If you've got born that name, you're obviously going to have the most piercings.
Yeah. Rolf? Well, I was going to go something 100, but then I was like, that seems too little in my head.
453. That's not bad.
Still a lot there.
And finally, and just a light one to smooth us off, which famous fashion designer is reported to have designed the Nazis' uniform?
Everyone knows that. It's Hugo Boss.
Yeah, nice one. See, you got one. That's pretty good. Well then, man. Do you There's one more.
Give me one more. Go
Okay. Former Prime Minister of Australia, Bob Hawke, set which world record? A. Longest period without passing any laws, 452 days. B. The fastest time to drink a yard of ale, 11 seconds. Or C. There's another one. C. The highest proportion of female ministers, 81%. Or D. The oldest world leader, aged 94. Bob Hawke. Longest period without passing laws.
I think I've heard this. I think it's B. Isn't he like a fucking whiz at drinking?
Fastest time to drink a yard of ale. Is that your answer?
Yeah.
You are correct.
Thank you. I think I heard that.
Yeah, that's 2 point. Yeah, how do you hear facts like that?
Because I went to the Parliament House in Australia.
He drank a yard of ale in 11 seconds.
Yeah, I think I heard that. When you go to Parliament House in Canberra, in ATC, you can see they have a portrait of all of the past presidents, and they'll go and give you like facts about them.
And like
even Harold Holt is there.
This is Bob Hawke in his picture, and there's like people like looking prime ministerial, looking really good, and then there's Bob is like, wow, fucking large.
Even Harold Holt is there, the one that went missing.
Oh, what?
Do you remember that story?
No.
Harold Holt was Prime Minister in the late 60s in Australia. He was only Prime Minister for a year because he went missing and was never found. He went swimming and never came back.
Has no one ever looked into that?
Well, they think he got caught in a riptide and drowned.
Oh.
There's various things about jellyfish, shark attacks, cover-ups, but I think there's reports that people saw him swimming out to sea and never he obviously got caught out by a riptide. And did you know that there was a famous swimming pool? They named this... Australia named quite a famous swimming pool after him, the Harold Holt swimming pool.
I mean, that's insensitive, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's a bit hilarious. And at the bottom is a reptile machine. Oh!
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. They never saw what happened to him. He just went swimming. People know he went swimming and people saw him get in the sea, but no one knows what happened to him after that. He just never came back.
It's class of people watching it in the sea, but thought, I'm not going to look too much more.
Well, they thought, Harold's been swimming a long time.
Yeah. But still swimming.
I think there's a report of a woman that watched him saw him get drifting out.
Okay. Well, that's sad. Welcome to MIFF, everyone. Are we ready to do a MIFF Dan?
I am.
Maybe we should hold hands as we walk into... We're holding hands. We're holding hands like a... Not like interlaced fingers. We've got I got 4 fingers, he's got 4 fingers on my hand. Yeah. Is that a normal way to hold hands?
Yeah, I think it is for what we're about to do.
I think platonically. Yeah. So this is platonic handhold.
Yeah.
Can we try and romantic handhold? Oh, that's weird.
That's feel weird, doesn't it?
It feels too intimate.
It feels too intimate. I agree.
I feel too intimate after the fact you've just told me a fact about a prime minister who's gone missing after a riptide. I feel too much.
Too much.
But let's walk together, holding hands, and holding hands with our listener as we do another North Myth.
Norse Myths. Norse Myths. Norse Myths. Norse Myths.
La 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 la. Back into it. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Good. You usually don't get that level of affection from people.
No, I don't.
Do you feel like a human being now?
I do, yeah.
Wow.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. What feelings do you have?
Well,
Do you know feelings?
I feel safe.
Safe. Unlucky for you.
As I hear a door lock behind me.
Anyway, Daniel, we are no longer doing the myth of Kivis here and that thing. We're doing something brand new, aren't we?
We are.
And we're going to talk about some more gods today. And should we just get straight into it?
Let's do it. What's this myth called, Matt?
It's called the Necklace of the Brisings.
The Necklace of the Brisings. Who the fuck are the Brisings? Should we find out?
There's 3 of them. There's French Rising.
Morning Rising.
And
French Brawl.
Okay, and...
French morning. Oh, that's so funny.
But it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't really know much about this. Let's just dive deep. Feet. Let's go to it. Okay. The night was almost over. The sky was green and grey in the east, and snowflakes were ghosting around Asgard. Loki, and only Loki, saw Freya leave Sessumrumnir. Her cat slept undisturbed by the hearth. Her chariot lay unused. In the half light, she set off on foot towards Bifrost.
That's the rainbow bridge that connects Midgard to Asgard.
Yes, thank you. You having a nice time today?
Thank you. I am, yeah.
Good. Then, the sly one's mind was riddled with curiosity. He wrapped his cloak around him and followed her. Dan, what do you think's going on so far?
He's following her.
The goddess seemed not to. You know what? I was trying to do there. You shot me down.
I did.
Yeah, that's not good broadcasting. Dan.
He thinks something's up.
Yeah. Is that too hard?
Sorry.
The goddess seemed not to walk so much as drift over the ground. She glided through sleeping Asgard, her hips swaying as she made her way over the rainbow that trembled and danced around her. The snow veils of Midgard beneath were dazzling in the rising sun. Dreaming of gold, lusting after gold, Freya crossed the barren plain, and Loki hurried behind her. She picked her way across the twisting river, silenced by ice. She passed through the base of a great glacier, chopped and bluish and dangerous, and at the end of short hours of daylight, she came to a group of huge rounded boulders, jostling under the shoulder of an overhanging cliff. Well, I'm not going to lie, I think I smashed the narration. It's quite descriptive.
That
right?
was very descriptive, yeah. And you're improvising all of that, which is really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. None of it's written down. It's actually 5 words. It goes Freya, Loki, and bam. That's 4 words. But there's a question mark in the middle. Yeah, but I think, do you reckon I should get a voice that didn't work?
Yeah, you should, yeah, definitely.
Would you pay me for that?
Absolutely not.
I feel. Is it too much? Is it too much? Because I feel like
I've always thought we could be like cartoon characters in a children's movie. We could do that kind of voice.
Yeah. Can you do that from now on?
We'll do what?
The cartoon characters.
Well, I don't. And I'm saying like if I was to be.
I see. Gotcha.
Like I feel like if we were going to do voice work for anything, it would be because someone said, "Hey, we've got this random character in a park. Can you do it?"
What would be my character called? Porky.
Yeah.
That's not very vegan. You'd be called Stencil Man.
Thanks. It's like because I'm skinny and weird looking.
Yeah, and also people like to see through you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Freya found the string-thin path that led in and down. Her eyes streamed from the cold, and her tears fell as a small shower of gold fell in front of her. The path became a passage between rock, and she followed it until it led into a large, dank cavern. There the goddess stood motionless. She could hear the water.
Trip. 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 Trip.
You sound like she's got a leaky faucet.
Trip. Trip. Trippity trip.
She could hear the water.
Trip. Trip.
Drip, turn it down.
Trip.
It's like...
Trippity trip.
You know that sprinkler we had last
That's
time?
musical. Ooh, we are the drips, the drippity drippy drip. We are the drip, the drippity drippy drip. Oh, we are the drip, the drippity drippy drip. Oh, we are the drip, the drippity drippity drip.
We are the drips, we are the drips, we are the drips, and we're gonna play in your ears. Loki was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Oh, I pictured like a Disney musical, like
yeah.
You know when they have like the music starts as like the drips, yeah.
Well, you know.
Well, that wasted a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, she could hear water dripping. That's the last time I'm going to ask you for a soundscape, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
She could hear the water dripping into rock.
Oh, there are rock pools. Bomb, 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 bomb. Dripping. Bomb, 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 bomb. Wow, dripping. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Bow. Guitar solo. Drip. Motherfucker.
That's not bad, is it?
I wasted another minute. Nice.
Do you reckon people skip forward?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I know for a fact my friends do.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
What? Do they are you joking? Wow. This is going to be... I'm going to be very, very upset for the rest of this whole podcast episode. I'm going to just be factual, no humour for the rest
Well, no, they skip the intro and come to this bit.
Oh, do they
But
actually?
they'll probably be skipping this because this has become more like an intro again where we just ramble.
Why listen to the podcast if not for two inane voices? Anyway.
She's in a tent cabin and there's water dripping. If that wasn't clear from what there
Let's just start. There was a goddess stood motionless. She could hear water dripping into the rock pools and the movement of a stream coursing over rock. She listened again, and then she heard the sound of distant tapping. And her own heart began to beat faster, to hammer with the longing.
Thanks for using your own leg to do that.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, you used Dan's thigh there, but I feel that might have been misconduct. Apologies. The goddess sidled through the dismal cave. The sound of the tapping, insistent yet fitful, grew stronger and stronger, and Freya stopped, listened again, and moved on. At last she stopped and eased her way down a narrow groin, I'm not sure if that's the correct term there, and stepped into the sweltering smithy of 4 dwarfs. Alfred, Devise, Burling, and Grr. Grr, grr. He's very manly, Grr.
For a moment, Freya was dazzled by the brilliance of the furnace. She rubbed her eyes, and then she gasped as she saw the breathtaking work of the dwarfs. A necklace, a choker of gold incised with wondrous patterns, a marvel of fluid metal twisting and weaving and writhing. She had never seen anything so beautiful, nor so desired anything before.
What's going on here? Why has she woke up in the middle of the night to do this?
She's woken up in the middle of the night, she's walked across a glacier in a frozen lake, into a cave with the drip, drip, dripping, and then she's seen some dwarfs smelting a beautiful necklace. What's not to get up for?
Oh, well, yeah, that's how I start every day.
She doesn't know Loki's low-key behind her. Yeah. The 4 dwarfs, meanwhile, stared at the goddess. She shimmered in the warm light of the forge. Where her cloak had fallen apart, the gold brooches and jewels on her dress gleamed and wrinkled. They had never seen anyone so beautiful, nor so desired anyone before. So she's desiring the necklace the same way they're desiring her.
Nice imagery there, Dan. Lovely stuff.
Freya smiled at Alfred. It's not me, Matt. It's the words.
Yeah.
Freya smiled at Alfred and Dvalin and Berling and Gur.
I will buy that necklace from you, she said.
Very, Kate Blanchett's character, Lord of the Rings. Nathaniel?
Yes, I know you're talking about that.
Very...
It's a kind of elven woman.
Yeah, he did a very good job of that.
Is it sexy? It's really like royal kind of vibe. The 4 dwarves looked at each other. 3 shook their heads, and the 4th said,
"It's not for sale."
I thought you were going to go for King Minos kind of vibe there. I want it, said Freya. The dwarfs grimaced. I want it. I'll pay you with silver and gold, a fair price and more than a fair price,
said Freya, her voice rising. She moved closer to the bench where the necklace was laying.
I'll bring you other rewards.
We have enough silver,
said one dwarf.
And we have enough gold,
said one man having a stroke. Sorry, is that you?
That's Gur's character.
Yeah.
And we have enough. Shut up, Gur!
So they have enough.
I'm going to play my friend's son.
I sound like Trump. I am the greatest dwarf in all of them. I've got orange skin and greatest necklace ever. Freya gazed at the necklace. She felt a great longing for it, a painful hunger. Alfric?
Why have you just decided to keep reading? Am I reading or are you reading?
No, I'm pointing
You're doing a weird thing where you do that thing where you let me read for a paragraph and then you come straight back in.
I wanted you to do it, but then you didn't take the lead, okay?
Yeah, I didn't take the lead because I knew you were about to butt in and do it.
No, you didn't do it.
Yeah, you do. You do this thing where you sit forward on your chair because you know you're about to read.
Take the lead, Dan. You take the lead.
Alfric and Dvalin and
Burling
huddled in one corner of the forge. They whispered and murmured and nodded.
What is your price?
Asked the goddess. It belongs to us all.
Said one. Sorry.
See, you can't help yourself, can you? Said one dwarf.
Can I do one of the dwarfs?
Okay, go on. You can do this one.
So what each has must be had by the others.
Said the second, leering.
There's only one price.
Said the third.
That will satisfy us.
The 4th dwarf looked at Freya. You, he said. The goddess flushed, and her breast began to rise and fall.
What? What does that mean?
Because she's breathing heavily.
Oh, I thought like individually one left breast went up and it went down.
It's not like a musical breast.
Yeah, or like like a traffic officer waving on oncoming traffic, like come on this way, like she's like,
yeah. It's not like her doing a Terry Crews.
Like it's a mob. Okay.
Only if you will lie one night with each of us will this necklace ever lie around your throat.
Okay.
Said the dwarves. It's a weird way of saying it.
Kind
throat.
of creepy.
Yeah. Dwarves are really creepy.
I mean, like
no context. Just leave it there.
In the myth context.
No. Just no context. I want people to think.
No, in the myth context. Please say that because I don't want it to be.
Okay. Dwarves in the Norse universe all seem a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Except for the one that made Mjolnir. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although even then, actually, they weren't really, because they were doing like a bet, weren't they? To be like, I'm better than you.
Yeah. But it was more Loki being a dick, in all fairness. So, here's the deal. She has to sleep with 4 dwarves to get a beautiful necklace. I feel that's, A, not good business practice.
Mm.
But who else is going to travel all the way through glaciers to buy stuff?
Yeah, like, you've got a lot, like, it costs a lot of money to make these things. Surely you want someone to buy it.
Yeah, and and also, why does it have to jump to sex straight away, you know what I mean? Like, it's always sex with these people. It's like, it's the only thing they want. And I feel like there's other stuff that she could write them a coin. Actually, that is a bit of shit. I was like, but silver and gold, you want to get them good with the gods, you know what I mean? But anyway.
Freya's distaste for the dwarfs, their ugly faces, their pale noses, their misshapen bodies, and their small, greedy eyes.
Can you stop describing me?
Yeah, sorry. Was great, but her desire for the necklace was greater. 4 nights were... Oh, God. 4 nights were but 4 nights. The glorious necklace would adorn her for all time. The walls of the forge were red and flickering. The dwarf's eyes were motionless.
Okay. Right. I'm trying to be gross here.
She's like, 4 nights is 4 nights. Doesn't really matter. At least I get to wear it forever.
Firstly, I think it wouldn't be 4 nights. I would negotiate down. Just kind of do it one after each other. Yeah. Bish bash bosh. But also, that's 1 night, 1 horrible night out. But also, like, not in a grim way, but I think that if you were the 4th person, I feel it wouldn't be... I feel like you wouldn't want to be like... It would feel a bit gross when you just saw all your best friends just have sex, and you're like, I'm the last one, good. You know what I mean? I don't think that's... I'm not sure if... Am I coming clear with what I'm trying to say here? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're saying you don't want to get sloppy fourths.
I don't want to... I'm trying to avoid that phrase as much as possible, because that sounds like she's being the bad one, but I'm trying to say that equally, like, I imagine it just might be a bit grim, you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah, I imagine prostituting a woman out for it would be grim, Matt, yeah.
Whenever I say something I regret, I'm going to ask her a quiz question. Carry on. And she said... As you wish,
murmured Freya shamelessly.
As you wish, I am in your hand.
4 days passed, 4 nights passed. Freya kept her part of the bargain, smashing dwarfs left, right and centre. Then the dwarfs too kept their word.
Maybe we should spin it in a positive way. Like, she is a liberated young woman and she just wants to, she
just wants a necklace. She's using them too.
Yeah, but no, maybe they're just having a bit of fun. It's just, she's just having a bit of a laugh. Why are we judging her? I feel bad for judging her. Let's take it back.
They presented the necklace to Freya and jostled her and fastened it around her throat. They keep using the word throat. I feel like that's a weird... The goddess hurried out of the cavern and across the bright plains of Midgard, and her shadow followed her. She crossed over Bifrost and returned to the darkness in Sessumnir.
Sessumnir.
And under her cloak she wore the necklace of the Brisings. Now the whole time, Loki's been... Has he not been... He knows this has happened, right?
Yeah. And he's been waiting for 4 days outside watching people have sex. That is bona fide creepy.
Yeah. The sly one made straight for Odin's hall. He found the terrible one, the father of battle, sitting alone in Valaskchval.
Yeah. And also Odin had he had another moniker as well.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a... Worker of evil!
His raven perched on his soldiers and his 2 wolves lay beside him. Oh, that guy's cool.
Well,
said Odin. Loki smirked.
I can read your face.
Ah, interrupted Loki, his eyes gleaming wickedly. But did you see hers?
Whose?
Did it escape you? Did you see it all from
Lidskaff.
Lidskaff?
Yeah, that's good. Lidskaff.
What?
Insisted Odin. Where were you, Odin, when the goddess you love, the goddess you lust after, slept with 4 dwarves?
Enough!
Shouted Odin. Also, can I say how badass Loki must... Him sitting in a dark hall all alone. He's got ravens sitting on his shoulder, like just casually stroking 2 wolves.
Yeah, and
I mean,
Loki
that's badass.
But here's more badass thing. Loki has the balls to go to him in his house, in Lidskaff, and go... your wife's fucking someone else. That's some major balls. Like, he can be ripped apart and in his shreds. But anyway.
Loki ignored him altogether, and Odin was possessed with such jealousy that he found it impossible not to listen. With unfeigned delight at shaming Freya and angry at Odin at the same time, Loki launched into his story. He left out nothing, and he saw no need to add anything.
Go get that necklace for me,
said Odin coldly when Loki had at last brought Freya home to Asgard. Loki smiled and shook his head.
You do nothing that is vile,
cried Odin.
You set us all against each other's throats. Now I set you at her throat. Get that necklace.
The sly one sniffed. You know as well as I, indeed surely far better than I. There's no way into that hell against her wishes.
Oh.
There's no way I can get in her hole as well as her wishes.
No in hell, I'm going to go in that hole.
I can't get in that hole without her wishes.
You know where that hole is? It's in hole.
Odin's got a line, thank you very much.
Get that necklace!
Shouted Odin. His face was contorted. His one eye was burning.
Until you get it, let me never see your face.
Then Loki looked at the terrible one. Odin's face was a mask now. Grim and sinister, the sly one's arrogance turned to cold fear. He recognised the danger.
Oh, you only recognise it now after the 2 wolves sit next to him. Then Odin's wolves got up, and so did Loki. He ran out of the hole. He ran out of the hole howling. Okay. Later the same night, the sly one walked across the shining snow, field to all of it. What?
The way you read Snowfield, that was hilarious.
What? I don't understand. Anyway,
you were like walked across the shining snow, field to the hall.
Oh, I see. I know. Snowfield. That makes more sense. Later the same night, the sly one walked across the shining snowfield to the hall Sesamrumnir. Boldly, he made his way up to the door. It was locked. He drew his cloak more closely around him. He shivered as the night wind picked up snow and grazed it with his face. He felt the cold working its way into his body and into his blood. Doesn't sound too healthy, but fair enough.
Right.
Loki remembered Sif, her locked bedchamber, her shorn shining hair, his own lips pierced with an owl. Owl? A-W-L? All. He scowled and inspected the door again. The shape changer shook his head. He muttered the words and turned himself into a fly. Not the first time he turned into a fly.
No, that was when he bit that guy. He bit that guy making Molnir, the dwarf.
Bastard builders.
Yeah, bastard builders.
Sesamrumnir was built so well that he was unable to find a way into the hall, a chink between wood and plaster, or plaster and turf. He buzzed around the keyhole, but that was no good. He examined the top and bottom of the door, and they were no good. He flew up to the eaves, and they were no good. Then he fitted to one gable end, and there, at the top, right under the roof, he found an opening, a little larger than a needle's eye. Loki, the shape changer, squirmed and wriggled his way through. He was at large inside Sesamrumnir. And making sure that Freya's daughters and servant maids were asleep, he flew to Freya's bedside. Shh! But the sleeping goddess was wearing a necklace, and its clasp lay around her neck. It was out of sight and out of reach. God, I think I'm doing well today.
Yeah.
Am I nailing it? Oh, am I nailing it?
You're nailing it, yeah. I mean, it's going to take us about 4 hours to finish it, but yeah.
We've got like about 15 more pages to go. As soon as he was certain that Freya was sleeping soundly once more...
What are you doing? You've missed 2 paragraphs.
Because you moved it without me knowing it, that's why.
But why would you start there then?
Because that was where the last was, Dan! You know I was going to fight you for 1-on-1. I'm going to fight you now. So Loki came shape again, this time becoming a flea. Then he amused himself by crawling over Freya's breast and across the necklace and up to onto one cheek. Not on her face. There he sat down and he gathered his strength and stung her pale skin. So he thought, he thinks it's pretty funny. He eats a flea, he goes on a boob,
have a little bite.
He goes for a cheek and bites it. But he's a little bit immature, isn't he? Well, he's the god of mischief, I suppose. So.
True, yeah.
Freya started. She moaned and she turned onto her side, but settled again. But now the clasp of the necklace was exposed, just as the shape changer had intended. But Dan, what happened next?
As soon as he was certain that Freya was sleeping soundly once more, Loki resumed his own form. He looked swiftly around, and then with the light fingers released the clasp and gently drew the necklace from Freya's throat. No thief in the 9 worlds was as nimble and skillful as he. With no movement that was not necessary, and without making a sound, he stole to the hall doors, slid back the bolts, turning the lock, and disappeared into the night.
But here's the issue with that, right? If he is the best thief in all the land, and everyone knows that, and he's the only one that could have made his way into that kind of fortress, well, you know where it's going to be, you know what I mean? Like, of course you're going to, like...
But she could have been like, I was sleeping, my maid could have stolen it.
No, but I think that if it's hard to get over it, like, if she's wearing it to sleep, I think... You're going to blame Loki. I think Loki's always at the top of your card. And anything that happens to you in Norse mythology, one day you wake up, your leg's gone, it's Loki's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Freya did not wake until morning, which is unusual.
Yeah.
And as soon as she opened her eyes, she put her fingers to her throat. She felt the back of her neck. The goddess looked around her. She leapt up and her face coloured in anger. When she saw the doors of Sesmenir were open and had not been forced, she knew that only Loki could have entered the hall, and knew that not even he would have risked such an undertaking and such a theft unless Odin himself had sanctioned it. What she did not know and could not fathom was how her secret, her greed and her guilt and her gain, had been discovered.
Okay, you know that thing that happens where I make a point and then the next paragraph...
Yeah, it happened again, didn't it, Matt?
Did you know about that?
No. Freya hurried to... So she knows that she knows that Odin put him up to this, but she doesn't know how he found out in the first place.
Yeah, but he knows... he knows that Odin is behind it, but Loki is the one he's the hands of the operation.
Freya hurried to how are we saying this word?
Valaskjalf.
Freya hurried to Valaskjalf and confronted Odin.
Where is that necklace?
She demanded.
Too soft, wasn't it?
Let's try it again. That's her. Freya hurried to Valaskjalf and confronted Odin.
Where is the necklace? Let's try again. Where is that necklace?
She demanded.
You've debased yourself if you had any part of this.
Odin scowled at Freya.
Who are you to speak of debasement? You've brought shame on yourself and onto the gods. Out of nothing but sheer greed, you sold your body to 4 foul dwarfs. Where's my necklace?
Repeated Freya. She stormed at Odin. She took his rigid arm, and pressed herself against him. She wept showers of gold.
Imagine that, it's like if she's upset one day, it's like, Freya, you feeling upset? It's like, no, but there's gold all over her room. You will never see it again,
said the terrible one, father of battle.
Unless you agree to one condition. There's only one thing that will satisfy me.
Freya looked at Odin quickly, and whatever it was that passed through her mind, she bit her tongue.
You must stir up hatred. You must stir up war. Find 2 kings in Midgard and set them at each other's throats. Ensure that they meet only on the battlefield, each of them supported by 20 vassal kings.
The father of battle looked grimly at the goddess.
And you
must use such charms as to give new life to corpses. As soon as each warrior is chopped down, bathed in blood, he must stand up unharmed and fight.
Freya stared at Odin.
Those are my conditions. Whether they wish it or not, let men rip one another to pieces.
Freya inclined her head.
Then give me my necklace,
she said. Oh, good little cliffhanger.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're referring to in 20 Vassal Kings, but so is that kind of like the start of the war, maybe?
Yeah, I think we'll have to find out.
So
I think we just found our next week's myth.
Unbeknownst to us, but yeah. So
you want to rank these?
Well, can we just let's look at what just happened there. So Odin doesn't want to have sex with her after all, but his up and comings is to get her to go to war. I'm a bit confused by this. You know, why this random demand? It's pretty random, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think there's more to this. Like, we don't know why he's... But she's so desperate to have the necklace that she's just said, yeah, fine, whatever. She hasn't even questioned it.
It's not even in her wheelhouse, though, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, get another god to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that's his one demand. Weird. And Norse myths are weird, brah. Anyway, let's go and rank this. Should we hold hands again and go in platonically this time? Because we're not gay.
Right.
Let's go. But it's okay if you're gay, but we're not.
Myths.
Hey, we're back!
But we're not gay.
But it's okay if you are
Yeah,
gay.
it's okay if you're gay. I feel like that came across as patronising, but I didn't mean it to be. Anyway, we rank this as ever out of 4 categories, which is life skills, morals, creativity, and WTF. This was a weird one, so let's get into it. Life skills. What things practically did we learn?
How to stalk someone.
Yes, good one. We haven't really got stalking before.
No.
It has happened before, but this is major stalking. Also, this is points for WTF and creativity. Loki stays outside for
4 days and
4
4
days, watching them have sex. And also, you gotta think during that time, it's 4 nights. And that's like, so, that's 96 hours, right?
Correct. Maths.
Very good at maths. What is Freya doing in the dwarf's lair for that time? Has she got a Nintendo Switch? What's she doing to fulfill her time? You know
She's
what I mean?
banging them.
Yeah, but not all the time. That's nice.
Oh, maybe I'm sure they had a chat.
Probably had a platter.
Yeah.
I don't think the dwarves can be very good for conversation.
No.
Do you reckon they would compare their own sex experiences as well?
Yeah. Probably videoing it.
Yeah. But yeah, so what other things did we learn? We learned how to create war.
Yeah, we learned how to forge a necklace.
We learned how to turn shapeshift. How to break in and entering.
Yeah.
Big one. We learned how to anger the old father.
Yep.
At this point during the podcast, well, I had about 20 minutes because Dan got very tired. And
Yeah,
his energy-
I'm sorry.
He gets a little bit snappy
I'm
as well.
hungry.
And you're hungry, you're tired. It's okay, Dan. We've only got 5 more episodes to record today. Anyway, let's wrap this up. So, life skills. I think we learned a lot, especially breaking and entering. Some ones we haven't got before. I'm going to say a solid 9.
Oh, a 9. That seems high.
Yeah, I felt when I said it.
A solid 9. It's more like a 5.
No, I'm thinking 7 or 8.
I think it's a 6.
No, what? You got breaking and entering, you got stalking, you got creating a jewellery, you got lots of different things going on here. And it's a lot of different things, a lot of mechanical things.
What's mechanical about it? One thing's mechanical, making a necklace.
Yes, but you also make war, you're also devising lots.
We haven't made war yet, he's just asked her to.
Yeah, well, you're making plans for
We haven't seen it yet.
war. It's a different thing. Work out, I think.
I'll go with 7.
I go with 8. 8. Final offer 8.
It's no, because we gave last week's episode an 8, and there's no way this was as creative as
Breaking
that.
and entering.
Why are you so fixated on that? It's one thing.
It's very
We do
cool.
life skills by how many of them there are.
No, not necessarily. It's about the quality of them.
Breaking and entry is like we've done way more cooler stuff than breaking and entering.
And stalking.
Okay, morals.
You think it's 7? We didn't agree on that, but fair enough.
Morals.
You want to take the lead on this?
Yeah, morals. We learnt don't stalk people.
Yeah. Don't judge people for having sex with you.
Yeah, that's a big moral actually. Don't judge people for like this is between her and the dwarves.
Yeah, and
she's okay with it. They're okay with it.
I mean, but then again, I would also clarify, don't proposition women for sex based. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm glad that of all formats, this podcast is where we.
Imagine there is one person out there who's listening to this podcast. Those guys really changed my mind.
Yeah, it really changed my mindset.
Those people who aren't gay, but I know it's not okay. It is okay if they are gay. I'm definitely going to cut that bit out. But yeah, I think that's a big. I think there's got to lose the shame around sex. It's her decision, her body, and though I don't agree with the fact that they propositioned her, if she agreed to it,
yeah, if she's okay with it,
that's cool. But Odin shouldn't be angry at her as well.
No.
And he's objectifying her. She's saying, you're mine, and I own you, so you shouldn't be doing that, therefore you're going to make it up to me. So she's been put in this position just because she wanted a necklace. I don't think it's okay.
So morals are high.
Yeah. And also, don't stalk people, and don't steal. You're stealing things. Breaking and entering.
Yeah, that's true.
8.
Okay, I will give this an 8.
Nice.
Creativity.
I think this myth. Well, it's all right. I think there's shape shifting. There's sex with 4 dwarfs.
There's a whole journey they went on.
Well, that's what it said during the sex experience. There is
different characters.
Yeah, for sure.
A weird ending. Odin. That's quite creative.
Yeah, that's
random.
That's I think more WTF as well. But that's points there. I also I think it's the fact that Odin loses his cool quite easily here. Usually he's quite chilled, but he's a man that's seen many people starve to death.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't strike me as too weird. Do you know what I mean? So maybe a 5.
I was going to go down the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty average 5. WTF factor. Things that made us go, the hell?
So no one died here.
No one died.
Sex with 4 dwarfs and the proposition of that is weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Him stalking her is weird, and waiting outside for 4 nights and listening.
And he definitely enjoyed it.
Oh, definitely.
The fact that it took her a long walk to get there, and she went in the middle of the night for no reason.
Yeah.
But also, I think
Odin's weird reaction.
Yes, having 2 wolves and a raven. That's pretty cool. / badass. Not WTF though. I think less than average.
The ending's a bit WTF, but it's still not crazy.
Maybe 4 or 5. 5?
4.
4, yeah. 19.
So give it a 7, 8, 5, and 4. I am doing the maths.
24.
I am doing the maths right now. I am doing the maths right now.
24.
I'm doing the maths right now.
You know it's 24.
I'm doing the maths right now. 24.
Thanks for telling me, Dan.
Thank you. Glad I can be here to do maths. Right, thank you for listening, guys. Let's do some... Matt, how do people get in contact with us?
No, because... Alright, we kind of showed you behind the veil. Dan's really tired and he's slightly grumpy, so I would like you to do the social media as happy as possible.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for listening. This is so good. I'm so awake right now. We got things you can do. You can message us via email, electronic mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like reading emails?
I wonder if that... No. It's a format that hasn't really taken off. MIFFpodcast@gmail.com. You go on Facebook at Miss Podcast, Twitter at Miss Podcast. And join the Misfits page on Facebook. We have various discussions that Matt leads.
What's your favourite thing about the Misfits fan club page?
You guys. It's you, the fans. That's what I love.
Name one of them. Name one of the fans.
My mum.
Yeah, fair enough.
Guys, thanks for listening. If you really like us, recommend us to a friend or give us 5 stars on iTunes. And if you really, really like us, then help donate to, it just costs us money to do this
on the Patreon. On the links below. And Dan, you sound... Can you please do all episodes like that? Can you pretend to be happy for the rest of them? Right, we're going to get him some food.
Food! Oh, God, I love it. Are we finished? I fucking hate doing podcasts, Matt. I wish they were all dead. Oh,
we're still recording.
The lights on this recording, isn't it?
Yeah. See you next week, guys. Bye.
Myths. 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 Myths.
He buzzed around the keyhole, but that was no good.
I think we'll cut that bit.
No, you fuckers.